Okay guys, so today I'm going to be doing a We Bare Bears theory video, but it's not going to be a video on a theory so mundane that a person with basic biology and geography knowledge could understand it just by looking at the goddamn show.
Nigga. What?
So I've been watching We Bare Bears recently, and I gotta say, this has to be one of my favorite shows on modern Cartoon Network. Possibly one of my top 5 favorite Cartoon Network shows of all time. The backgrounds are awesome, the stories are interesting, and it's the only show where I can look at the background characters and see that there was some love and care being put into them. Like seriously, I love the way these background characters look.
Let me smash. Please.
No, Ron. Go find Becky.
You want some fuck?
No, Ron, I don't want some fuck.
I got you, Blue.
But that's for another video. This video is about a specific episode that I saw recently. The episode's name is Ralph. For those of you who haven't seen the episode, Ralph is about our favorite Bigfoot, Charlie, finding another Bigfoot named Ralph, even though we can tell that's not another Bigfoot but a Yeti, but I digress. Charlie and Ralph do some pranks on some humans, and each prank gets increasingly more harmful. Eventually, Charlie and Ralph decide to rest over at the bear's cave, and Charlie decides to introduce Ralph to the bears. Ralph clearly leaves a bad impression on the bears by stealing food, destroying property, and showing all levels of disrespect. They then leave because Charlie doesn't think that the bears understand how it is to be the only one of his kind, even though the bears clearly state that Ralph is bad news. The duo then head into the woods to see the exact same people that they pranked before in the beginning of the episode, and Ralph goes too far with his next prank. Ralph decides to remove the wood bridge from its supports and let the people fall. Charlie obviously saves them, but then this comes up.
Ralph, what the heck are you doing?
What the heck are you doing? Let go, you're wrecking the joke.
I think this goes beyond a joke, man. This is dangerous.
What, like throwing bees at a guy wasn't? Besides, what the heck do we care about people? There's so many of them and so few of us. It's losing a few for a laugh.
Yowza, that's not something you hear every day. Charlie then saves the people and realizes that the bears were right and decides to leave Ralph behind. The bears forgive Charlie, Ralph is attacked by snakes, and the episode ends. So what is it exactly that I wanted to talk about? Well, it's the conversation that Charlie and Ralph had about juggling the lives of humans when it comes to their pranks, and why Ralph has this ideology in the first place. This video is going to get divided into 3 parts, talking about where Ralph came from, how he adopted this ideology, and how this might affect the series if Ralph ever returns. When we look at Ralph, there are some pretty obvious things that we can tell. Number 1, he's strong. Number 2, he has white fur. And number 3, he's a very tall dude. He's taller than Charlie, and Charlie is pretty damn tall. Probably one of the tallest characters in the series. Now the question is, who else shares these qualities? The answer is Ice Bear. Well, not exactly the tall part, but the other two. But how can this be? We have to look at the process of natural selection. Natural selection, as most of you know, is when a species will evolve and change themselves in order to fit their environment. A prime example of this is Charlie. He is thin so he can be able to hide behind trees, tall to properly climb tall objects such as boulders and trees, and is very fast so he can avoid being seen. So in what environment could someone large, tall, and white survive? Look exactly where Ice Bear survived during his young life, the Arctic Circle. The rest of this is going to be pure speculation, but there was some research that went into this. Now we have to address the main question that this video is about, and that is, how did it come to this? When we look at the region for the Yeti, It all seems a little contradictory at first, with multiple articles claiming that Yetis only live in Nepal, Bhutan, and Tibet. That was until I found this map. This map showing that Yetis have migrated into the Russian region. So when we take a look to the Arctic Circle. Now, why is this so important? That is the same area where the episode Yuri and Ice Bear took place. This can be seen by how the area is mostly snow, just like the Russian Arctic region, has an edge with unstable ice, just like the Russian Arctic region, and has Russian people, just like the Russian Okay, that last part was a joke, but you catch my drift. Now, how does this come into play with Ice Bear and Ralph? We have to look at another part. Hunting. When it comes to polar bear hunting, it of course takes place in the Arctic. But how many polar bears are hunted annually? Well, according to polarbearsinternational.org, 600 to 800 polar bears are hunted yearly, which is about 3 to 4% of the total polar bear population worldwide. This would be a probable explanation as to why baby Ice Bear is so alone and hungry in the beginning of the episode. It would also explain why he is so cautious of those specific hunters, because he was trying to escape them and find a meal for a couple of days now. Now, there are a multitude of ways that Ice Bear could have lost his parents: separation, being sold, or possibly killed. But because it's the Arctic and most people go out there either for scientific research or sports, it wouldn't be that far-fetched to say that his parents are 6 feet under the snow or just separated. This is where we enter theory territory. Both Ice Bear and Ralph most likely suffered the same fate of losing parents, as there's been an increased number of people that actually go out to hunt Yetis as well. Just because there are Bigfoot fanatics out here in the States, and some Yeti fanatics out there, just a little bit less because Yetis live in more dangerous climates, and you have to be very dedicated to find someone like that. It doesn't mean that the numbers don't exist or that people don't do it. But in this case, it would be very likely that Ralph lost his parents just like how Ice Bear probably did. Which is why when both of them are staring each other down in the episode, there's not only a snowy background that appears, but it is also followed by Ralph's.
This guy knows what's up right here.
They both grew up in the harsh Arctic environment, an area where you must be strong, stoic, and willing to claim what is yours to survive. But what is the difference here? What stopped Ice Bear from becoming a second Ralph? Or Ralph from being a second Ice Bear? The answer lies in Yuri. Is it this one, sir? No. Is it this one? 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 That's the one. Okay. Yuri's kindness and willingness to teach Ice Bear everything he knew, and the daring move he made to save Ice Bear in his debut episode is what showed Ice Bear the goodness in humanity, something Ralph was never able to see. Ralph saw two things in humans. 1, they were monsters and killed the ones close to him, and 2, they were plenty to go around. This would possibly be enough to justify the sociopathic tendencies of letting humans die for the sake of a joke. Now, because of this, it means two things. 1, Ralph has been responsible for the death of some humans. Or 2, Ralph has never done it before and was testing his own limits on how far he would go for the sake of a joke. Now, I know that Ralph sounded like he's been a part of the killing humans rodeo for a while now, but I think that was because he wanted to sound assuring in order to persuade Charlie that it was the right thing. Or maybe he actually has done it and he's worse than I thought. Now leads to the final part of this. What would the future hold for Ralph? Now, ignoring the possibility that Ralph might have just died in that episode from snake venom, it's possible that Ralph might return in the show. We Bare Bears has been known for bringing back old characters who were clearly terrible people to expand on them and show they're not as terrible as we thought they were. Except Nom Nom. He will never be redeemed. Ralph might join the Welcome Back Club as well to get more story in and help him grow as a person. Or maybe, just maybe, Ice Bear will do for Ralph what Yuri did for Ice Bear, and show him the advantages and wonders of humanity. They already seem to have a connection greater than any other character Ralph did in that episode, and it's clear that Ralph is jealous of Charlie's friendship with the bears and how he is okay with humans. Kevin Hart was on a late night interview with Stephen Colbert one time, and was talking about how holding grudges and hating on people is unnecessary and takes a lot of energy that could be used to do proactive things that benefit everyone. I could see that Ralph does want some redemption and wants to do some good, but is too proud to ask anyone. So he would ask someone who is familiar with his situation, someone who would be able to understand where he was coming from and still came out better than he did. Someone like Ice Bear. But what do I know? I'm just a 19-year-old using maps, geography, info gathering, and stuff you would learn in a biology class 2. Okay guys, so today I'm going to be doing a We Bare Bears theory video, but it's not going to be a video on a theory so mundane that a person with basic biology and geography, basic biology,
God damn it!
Well, that's the end of the video. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe and ring the bell. Also be sure to donate to my Patreon, like me on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and check me out on writing.com. It all helps. This is the GrandOwl saying goodbye everyone, and stay beautiful.